Greetings, dear viewers. Welcome to the Sussex Ambassador channel. We are your go-to source for enlightening discussions and thought-provoking insights. Today, we turn our attention to a topic that has been making the rounds in the media: Netflix's co-CEO Ted Sarandos and his staunch support for Meghan Sussex. But before we dive into this fascinating subject, do remember to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on our latest content. Now, let's delve into today's topic, shall we? You might have noticed the barrage of criticism Meghan Sussex faces from certain quarters. And it's not just a light drizzle, but a torrential downpour of disapproval that seems to have been relentless since her entrance into the public eye. Let's pull back the curtain and take a closer look at the critics behind this storm. The critics of Meghan Sussex are as diverse as they are vocal. They come from every corner of the globe, but are primarily rooted in the UK media and the shadowy corners of the internet. They are relentless, spinning a web of narratives that paint Meghan Sussex as a failure, as someone who has fallen from grace. Yet it's important to remember that these narratives are not based on fact, but on personal bias and a refusal to accept change. These criticisms are born of a variety of motivations. Some are driven by a sense of misplaced loyalty, believing that by disparaging Meghan, they are somehow defending the status quo. Others are fueled by a desire to tear down a woman who has dared to challenge traditional norms and blaze her own trail. And then, there are those who simply revel in the sport of trolling, their keyboards serving as weapons in their war of words. The nature of these criticisms varies wildly. Some critics focus on Meghan's departure from royal protocol, while others take aim at her ambitious endeavours or her outspoken nature. Yet, all these criticisms share a common thread. They seek to diminish Meghan's accomplishments, to undermine her influence, and to cast her as a villain in a narrative that they themselves have constructed. But here's the thing: these criticisms, as loud and pervasive as they may be, are built on shaky foundations. They are the product of bias and misunderstanding, not objective analysis. They are narratives spun from half-truths and skewed perspectives, not from the reality of Meghan's life and work. But as we shall see, these criticisms don't hold up under scrutiny. Because when we strip away the vitriol and the bias, we're left with a woman who is undeniably successful, influential, and resilient. And that's something no amount of criticism can take away. Recently, Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos has stepped up to defend Meghan Sussex. This comes in light of the relentless criticism that Meghan has been facing. Sarandos, who is one of the key figures in the global entertainment industry, has not shied away from expressing his support for Meghan. He has dismissed the critics, calling them out for their baseless accusations and their desperate attempts to tarnish Meghan's reputation. Sarandos has noted that the Harry and Meghan docuseries has been a topic of conversation around the world. The series has sparked discussions, debates, and analysis. The power of Meghan's influence is palpable, as seen in the instantaneous sellout of her shoes and the sudden popularity of a mere blanket that appeared in the background of a scene. Sarandos rightly points out that such influence and impact cannot be considered a failure by any stretch of the imagination. It is evident that Sarandos respects and acknowledges Meghan's contribution to the global cultural landscape. He has highlighted how Meghan's work has resonated with audiences worldwide. Despite the efforts of her critics to downplay her accomplishments, Sarandos has underscored the undeniable fact that Meghan's influence is substantial and far-reaching. Furthermore, Sarandos has also criticized the unfounded narrative spun by Meghan's detractors. He has called out the trolls for their attempts to distort the truth and to undermine Meghan's success. Sarandos has emphasized that no amount of negativity can erase the positive impact that Meghan has had. Sarandos's defense of Meghan is a powerful statement against the haters. His views are shared by many who see beyond the unfounded criticism and recognize Meghan's worth and contribution. Far from being a failure, Meghan has proven to be a force to be reckoned with, a fact that Sarandos has boldly acknowledged. In Sarandos's words, Meghan is winning, and her critics are merely struggling to accept this reality. He stands firmly in her corner, defending her against unfair criticism and acknowledging her success. Clearly, Sarandos sees Meghan Sussex's value and impact, a stark contrast to her critics. Despite the critics, Meghan Sussex's influence and power are undeniable. It's not just about her ability to captivate audiences and dominate conversations. Meghan's influence permeates all aspects of culture, from fashion to social issues, and even consumer behavior. Take, for example, the Meghan effect, a term coined to describe the immediate and explosive demand for anything Meghan wears or uses. It's a phenomenon that has seen retailers scramble to keep up, as items sell out within hours, if not minutes, of Meghan being seen with them. From her shoes to a blanket casually thrown in the background of a scene, everything Meghan touches turns to gold. This is not just influence, it's power. Power that extends beyond the confines of royal life and into the wider world. But Meghan's influence isn't just about material goods. She's used her platform to shine a light on issues that matter, driving conversations on mental health, gender equality, and racial justice. She's not just a trendsetter, she's a thought leader, challenging norms and sparking debates on topics often considered taboo. The critics may paint a picture of failure, but the evidence shows otherwise. Meghan's influence has a tangible impact, and it's impossible to ignore. The Meghan effect is proof of her success, a testament to her ability to connect with people on a global scale. It's a clear contradiction to the critics' narrative, a narrative that seems more about personal bias than factual evidence. In the face of all this, Meghan continues to rise, undeterred by the noise of her detractors. Her influence, her power, they only grow stronger. It's a testament to her resilience and a demonstration of her ability to rise above the criticism and continue to make a positive impact. It's clear that Meghan Sussex's success and influence are powerful, no matter what her critics say. Her story is one of triumph over adversity, of influence over criticism, and of power over prejudice. And it's a story that's far from over. Despite their best efforts, Meghan Sussex's critics have failed to diminish her. The critics, from the media to online trolls, have spun a web of narratives, each designed to tarnish Meghan's reputation. Yet each narrative, each story spun out of context, and each misguided opinion has unraveled and fallen apart under scrutiny. Their efforts have been futile, their attempts to paint Meghan as a failure, laughable at best. They have tried to frame her as an opportunist, a manipulator, even a royal outcast. But the world sees through these petty attempts. The truth is, Meghan Sussex is not the failure these critics so desperately want her to be. Instead, she stands tall, unbroken, and undeterred. Her influence is far-reaching, her impact undeniable. The critics have tried to silence her, but her voice only grows louder, her message clearer. Their criticisms have only served to amplify her influence, rather than diminish it. Meghan's critics have tried to reduce her to a mere headline, a controversial figure to be dissected and discussed. But Meghan is much more than that. She is a woman of substance, an advocate for change, and a beacon of hope for many. Her critics, in their blind bias and bitterness, have failed to see this. They have failed to see the woman behind the stories, the woman who has defied odds, shattered glass ceilings, and remained steadfast in the face of adversity. They have failed to see her strength, her resilience, and her unwavering determination. And in their failure, they have only succeeded in demonstrating their own bias and bitterness. Their criticisms have become a reflection of their own prejudices, their own insecurities. They have become the very thing they accuse Meghan of being, a spectacle, a distraction, a failure. Despite their best efforts, Meghan Sussex's critics have failed to diminish her. Their narratives have fallen apart, their criticisms rendered ineffective. In the end, Meghan Sussex's critics have only succeeded in demonstrating their own bias and bitterness. In conclusion, Meghan Sussex's critics have failed to tarnish her reputation and influence. Despite their relentless efforts to paint her as a failure, the reality couldn't be further from the truth. Meghan has not only survived the onslaught of criticism, but she has thrived in the face of it. And Netflix's co-CEO, Ted Sarandos, has recognized this, standing firm in his support for Meghan. Throughout our discussion, we've debunked the false narrative spun by Meghan's detractors. We've highlighted the undeniable influence she holds, an influence that extends globally. From the docuseries that dominated conversations for days to the blanket in the background that became a must-have item, Meghan's impact is palpable and far-reaching. We've also delved into Sarandos's defense of Meghan. He has not only acknowledged her influence but also shut down her haters, making it clear that Meghan is far from the failure they desperately want her to be. He has stood up against these nonsense narratives, reinforcing Meghan's success and power. As we wrap up, it's important to remember that the truth always prevails. No matter how much Meghan's critics twist the facts, they can't erase her influence. Her success is a testament to her resilience, and Sarandos' support is a testament to her undeniable impact. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our content. Until next time.